Hello, I'm Nicole and this is my booktube channel Galaxy Stories. Welcome to a new video. For today, we're going to be doing the mid-year book freakout tag. I think it's what it's called. Anyway, the tag that you do in the middle of the year where you think back about what you have read in the past, what were your newest favorites, what were your newest disappointments. It's been going on booktube for like ages. I have no idea who the original creator is. I have chosen some of the questions I have seen around and I used them to make this video. So we can get started. First question is the best book I've read so far this year. And I had to consider it because so far this year I have not read that many books and none of them were that, I don't know, special or stuck out to me, so I cannot say that I really found a new favorite book so far. But I guess the best book that I have read, I would consider it to be The Witch Hat Atelier. I read the first volume. It is a manga series about this little girl who lives in a world where there are witches, only she has not been born with magical powers and she would love to be able to be a witch, and she somehow runs into such a witch who takes her on as an apprentice due to some spoilerish plot reasons. And it's basically about her adventures learning to be a witch. And the reason I like this book is it reminded me a lot of other stories. Like, I feel like a way to describe it, at least from what I got in the first volume, would be a weird combination between Harry Potter and the Owl House. The magic system reminds me of the Owl House a lot, but there's also just like, the whimsy of Harry Potter and learning magic. Just combine them and you get Witch Hat Atelier. It was a very fun read and I would like to continue with the series. I haven't had a chance to yet, but I will eventually, I promise. Okay, the best sequel I've read so far this year. I have not read that many sequels this year, if you do not count manga series. So there is kind of only one option, however, it was a good one. The best sequel I've read so far has to be The Tropic of Serpents, which is the second book in the A Natural History of Dragons series by Mary Brennan, which features the adventures of Lady Trent as she discovers more about dragons and she goes across the world to discover all these new species of dragons or just to learn about them and categorize them, play the role of a natural historian in a very, I don't know, Jane Austen society. And it was very beautiful. It still had the same humor as the first one. It still had the same good vibes and I'm all here for it and I very much enjoyed it. The next one is new release that you haven't read yet but would like to. And for that, I'm going to pick a release that's actually from late last year because I have not been keeping up to date with new releases, and even this one I found out about it accidentally and I did buy it this year, so I'll make it count. And this is Die Farbe der Rache by Cornelia Funke. This is part of the Inkworld series, only it is a continuation that takes place many years later after the first 3 books. And it has come out in German. I'm not sure if it has been translated yet, and I will read it in German anyway because it's in German. And I'm very excited to get to it. It's just that it's so big and I was so scared and I was also very busy with university, so I couldn't get to it, but I hope I will manage to read it by the end of the year. And that's what I have to say about it. It was a sequel that I very much anticipated. I knew it existed, or like it was under development for years. I had not realized it had come out until I just went on Goodreads one day and saw that it said that it had come out. And it was an adventure getting it, but I didn't manage to, and I do own the book and I'm very excited to read it. Next question that I have picked is Biggest Disappointment. And the book that I'm picking, I wouldn't say it was that big of a disappointment. Like, I think I still gave it 3 or 4 stars. It's just that I was expecting so much from it and I feel like it didn't deliver it for me. I don't know how to put this. The book in question is Legends and Lattes. This book had been around BookTube and Bookstagram for a couple of years. And it was very popular. It was this cozy fantasy where there is this orc, I think, who opens a coffee shop and it's just meant to be low stakes but still high fantasy. And I don't know. I had such hopes for it because I do genuinely like this kind of stories. But for some reason, it just didn't work out for me. I cannot give you a reason why. It just didn't happen. So, unfortunately, that's kind of my biggest disappointment because I was really expecting it to be my new favorite book and it didn't happen, unfortunately. Biggest surprise. So the biggest surprise for me was probably Book of Dust by Philip Pullman. This book is kind of like a prequel to the His Dark Materials series, which is a series that I read when I was younger, and I wasn't that big a fan of. But now I did read the prequel. Now I did read the prequel, partly because a university lecturer of mine really likes these books, and I just was in the mood for it. And actually really enjoyed it. I think I liked it better than the original series. It's a very controversial take, I know. But I still really enjoyed it. I don't know what it was about it. I just wasn't expecting to like it, and I actually did end up liking it. It wasn't perfect by any means, but I still had a much more nicer experience with it than I had expected. Okay, next question would be newest fictional crush. Because I do not really have a newest favorite fictional character so far in the books that I have read. And for that, well, if you count in my discovery of Twisted Wonderland, as it is technically also a manga series, yes, well, yeah. Moving on, a book that made me happy, and that kind of ties into the previous question, and that is probably going to be Twisted Wonderland. I know this is technically a game, but it also has a manga, and just not being able to play the game, but being able to get the manga has just made me so happy. And I had been staring at that volume in the bookshop for a couple of months, and I finally got it, and I had such a fun time with it. I love the characters, and the setting is very fun. I know the plot is not the best, but it's still, I don't know, it makes me happy, and that's all I really wanted from it. It brings me so much nostalgia for my childhood. Yeah, I just had an amazing time with it. Most beautiful book I've bought so far this year. Well, that's a hard one. So for the most beautiful book I've got this year, I will pick an Illuminate book, and it is To Gaze Upon Wicked Gods by Molly Chang. Just look at this cover. It is gorgeous. I do not really remember what the book is about. I will want to read it. But look at the colors. Look at the art style. Look at the sprayed edges. Look at it even has like inside art. Look at this. This is pretty. And it also has on the back a guy, I'm pretty sure. This is also very pretty. And I'm quite excited to read it. Partly because of the art style being so gorgeous. And I will. And I'm just really excited about it. As for about books I need to read by the end of the year, I have a few priorities. One of them being The Priority of the Orange Tree, which is a book I have back at home, and it's been gifted to me on my birthday last year by one of my best friends, and I'm very excited to read it. I didn't get a chance to read it because my birthday is kind of in the middle of summer, and unless I had read it right then, I had to bring it to me to uni, and it is like an 800-page book, which does not really work with the luggage that I had available. So it will wait for the next summer holiday, where I will definitely get to it. And maybe also read the sequel, because I also have the sequel. Another pick that I'd like to choose is the Royal Assassin, and just like the Farseer series in general. I don't know how far along I will get to it, but I do want to make some progress and at least finish the first trilogy, because I really, really loved the first volume last year, and I just still not have the energy to pick up the others, and I'm so sorry because I keep going to bookshops and seeing off the books and being like, I want to read these books, I want to immerse myself in this world and learn more about the characters, and just hasn't happened due to time issues, and I really hope I will get to it eventually. So I think that those are my top 2 picks that I really have to read by the end of the year. This has been it. Thank you for joining me. This is mostly a summary of what I have read so far. And stay tuned for more videos, I guess. Bye!